Hi, my name is Kim Hewitt, and I'm one of the folks who has provided a little bit of material inside of the pre-orientation course. Now, the word course might give some of you the willies, but this really isn't a big course. It's a very small course meant to familiarize you with some basic things that we feel will help you be less frustrated and overwhelmed at the orientation if you kind of take the time to introduce yourself to these things prior to orientation. So don't let that word worry you too much. All right, so I'm looking in this welcome letter. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to walk you through the steps of getting into CourseDen. I'm going to go ahead and log in using this generic username, this generic login, the guest_ed_c and the logmein123. And we're going to go to this website, http://wesca.vue.usg.edu. So I'll go ahead and I'm in my web browser. I'm going to plug that in. And we always have this little Java check. This little browser check happens, and I'm not going to stop and talk about this, but this is actually something you can read more about inside of the second part of the module we're about to enter. Okay, so the username is guest_edc, and the password is logmein123. All right, and that'll take you to a single course is listed right here. So you want to go ahead and go into there. And now you're actually inside of the course. So this is similar to what a lot of online courses will look like that are delivered through the CourseDen learning management system that we use at UWG. The first thing you want to do is click here to watch Dr. Nixon's welcome. He has a little welcome video in QuickTime, and you can watch that. And then you'll want to head over to the pre-orientation checklist. This will give you an idea of what you're going to encounter. The first thing that you should probably do is check out my overview of online technologies. I'll give you kind of a big picture view of all the places that you'll go as an online learner at UWG, or most of the places, and how they kind of relate to one another. And then I'll let you get your feet wet doing a few little close-up things. In Jason Busman's second section here, he and fellow folks at UWG Online have put together some tutorials that will help you learn all about this environment, this CourseDen learning management system that I'm in. And those are the kind of thing where I would recommend that you kind of do them as you can. You know, if you can watch maybe the video on how to use the mail, if you don't know how to use the mail and you need some help with that, go watch that and then go take a break. You don't have to watch all of those in one sitting. They're dreadfully dull if you do that, and I'm not sure you can learn that way. So you want to just kind of take them in as much as you can. I recommend that you read his intro first for sure, thoroughly, and then you kind of take each little tutorial and the various features of CourseDen as you can. The third section is from multiple librarians. Ann Barnhart, Jean Cook, and Angela Pasci have put this together, and they have you working with various systems available online through the library. And so you'll want to go in there as well. I think I haven't worked through their module, but I estimated just by looking at it that it should take about 2 to 4 hours. At the end, there's a feedback survey, and you can wait till the end to submit it and to ask questions. And these questions will be addressed hopefully at your face-to-face orientation. They can be related to anything that you encounter in this module, or any questions that you have and you want answered at that orientation. Come to the feedback survey that I'll show you in a second, and input your questions, your comments, your concerns, and you can do it as often as you like. All right, so I'm going to go back to the home page. I can click here, or I can click here as well. Course content will take me back to the home. All right, so we've got the welcome from the director. We've got this pre-orientation checklist that gives you kind of a big picture of what you want to do here. And then you can jump in to these modules. 1, 2, 3. There's really just 3 of them, and then this is the feedback form that's just always available to you again. Let's look at that first, because we really do want you to just use this open-ended area here, field, write your questions, comments, and concerns. You can mix them up. They can be about multiple things, and you can take it repeatedly, and then you just click submit. And then slowly over time, perhaps, if folks are using it, you can come here, and you should be able to see the responses populating here. So you can see what other people are asking about as well. And it's anonymous. We don't know who's asking what. You can sign your name if you want, but you don't have to. Um, just quickly, how we navigate through these modules. I know that some of you are very familiar with this and don't need to know about this, but for those of you that are still with me, click, for example, the first module. Be sure that you expand plus signs. If you've not worked in CourseDen, that might be a new concept, or Blackboard. You want to expand those because they have more links in them. Okay? And sometimes I tell my students, because I teach online, I tell them to just expand them one at a time as you're working through them, because it gives you kind of a good visual cue of where you are. If you expand them all at once, it's easy to get overwhelmed or lost, so maybe you just expand one at a time. But basically the way it works is you can watch this video. I kind of introduce you to the module. Check out the module checklist. That'll tell you what you're going to do in my module here. And then move on to my presentation on the world of the online learner. And you can download some documents, watch the video, etc. So it basically works like that. You just kind of flow through it. Then you're going to get to some activities here. I'll teach you about a simple concept, and then I'll say, okay, now you do it. You give it a try. And then I went ahead and put the feedback form into the first module just to kind of advertise it. Let's look at Jason Busbin's module. A closer look into online learning. These are actually, it actually has multiple little tiny modules in it. So you go in here and you just click down these items and you can read over here as you click. So I'm going to go back to his page there, and then you can just go to the next one, Get to Know CourseDen, and you'll see that they actually get shorter and shorter. The first one was the longest, but then the concepts get pretty simple. Like here's a little thing about the mail tool. And you can just watch the tutorial or read the tutorial, and then you can watch the video that goes with it. And they provide a transcript of the video as well, if that helps you to have that written thing. So you click here to view the video. So that's how that works, and that was what I was talking about earlier when I said just kind of take it in as you can. And then here's the library services and research tutorial. Module. You want to check these out, and you can just kind of go in order as presented. So we've got three different groups kind of designing in here, and so you're going to see a variety of ways to organize a module. And that, probably is an advantage, just because it shows you different ways that they might be organized as you approach this online doctoral program. A quick comment about the left-hand navigation over here. You can click here to expand it. And I hid most of the features because I don't like to have features that aren't used. We're not really using the calendar. We probably aren't using mail, but I left those there just so you might practice the mail, I guess. We left the roster picture there because that's one activity that you're going to do, is actually putting in your roster picture and biography. And I left this here as well. So I left a few features open, but because this is sort of a self-paced course and doesn't require interaction, we really didn't need a lot of the interactive tools that you'll see in a future course. Now, if you would like for us to reveal the things, though, like a discussion board, if you want us to open up a discussion board that you can just make practice messages in or something, and open up the assignments Dropbox tool, maybe we can put in a fake assignment or something, send me an email, khewitt@gmail.com. That's also right here in the pre-orientation checklist, right there, or khewitt@westcott.edu. Either one will work. And I can open those tools up. It's just my belief is that you generally don't add tools that are not used, because it will just confuse the learner. You kind of want to guide them, channel them the way that they ought to navigate through the course. But I did want to mention it to also add that each course you go into, a professor will hide and reveal different buttons. So that's why it will sometimes look different. And you don't want to panic, but sometimes professors accidentally hide things that they don't mean to also, and you can say, hey, it would really help us if there were a discussions button over there so we could go straight to the discussion board, and you can even tell them that. One last comment. Dr. Nixon was saying that he might want us to create a folder that we put inside of this course, and inside of that folder we could place materials that come from your face-to-face orientation. And if he decides that that's a good idea and that this is a good place for that folder of materials, then we will do that. We'll try to provide you with all the handouts and materials, as many as possible, from your face-to-face orientation, so you can look back at this as a resource as well as you move forward. All right, enough said. I hope you guys enjoy this module, and welcome to the program.